helped our confidence. So, I mean, we had to overcome that and see if that was actually viable for us during the tournament, which we didn't get to play that much, but if we could have, maybe it could have been different.
For me personally, it was definitely not having him for the first couple of matches because he had COVID or whatever. So he couldn't be on stage with us. So it was really, really hard for all the players and myself not having, a coach behind us that we're used to having with the impact that he has.
So next is, what is your most memorable moment in these champions?
I think I went against DRX. It was a pretty tight and entertaining match, so it was fun. I think it was pretty fun for the viewers too, I think.
For me, it'd probably be just beating Liquid because we finally got a win against the EMEA team.
Yeah, I think Liquid for me as well, just having the win over Europe.
Thank you. Are there any more questions from the on-site media?
Hi, Declan again from Dexerto. So kind of despite today's results, you guys have placed first, third, and now second at all the international events so far, or all the international events for 2022. Is it fair to say that you guys are the best team of the year of 2022?
Yes.
Thank you.
Any more questions? All right, we'll now go to remote media. We'll start with Michael Czar from Upcomer.
Hey guys, this question specifically for Ye. It's kind of like a follow-up on Declan's last one. Obviously, you had a really consistent year with the championship in Reykjavik. Even with the loss here, finishing second place, how do you feel about your team's performance, both regionally and internationally, heading into next year?
I mean, even since we were originally on Envy, ever since we put together this roster, we've had like pretty good international results. Obviously, champs, kind of a bad situation with Victor having COVID, but at least for the last year or so, whatever it's been, we've always been like pretty strong, and I hope to continue that going into franchising.
Thank you. We'll go next to Diogo Santos from VLR.
Hey guys, I've also got a question for Ye about Jet. Today was the second time you've picked Jet in the last 3 months. So I'm just looking to know the reasoning behind all that.
She's a good agent, and tech comp is pretty good.
Thank you. We'll next go to Pedro Romero from Blix.gg.
Hello.
Yes.
Well, likewise, commiserations on the series loss. I have a question for Finesse. Obviously, with this year that has happened, Optic and Cloud has pretty much formulated a rivalry between each other, and so I'd like to know your thoughts on like Cloud's progression throughout the year. Since facing them from Masters 1 up until now, what do you make of their like improvement throughout this year, and what do you think has been the biggest difference in this series with them in the Champions Grand Finals?
I definitely think they've improved obviously greatly from the first time that we ended up playing them. I think they also didn't have as much experience as we did, so they've definitely caught up on that department. So I would say that attributes to why they're so good at closing out games now. For example, the overtimes we played today. As far as this series and why they were able to beat us, I feel like it was in our hands, to be honest. Like Ascent, we were up. Breeze, we were up. It just felt like all credit to them for closing out those games, but it felt like we lost to ourselves a little bit today. But yeah, in general, I think they're a very good team and obviously good enough to win a championship, and to be able to do it at Champions under all this pressure is pretty impressive from them.
Thank you. We'll go next to Ian from Valoranting.
This is for Marved. You did tremendously on Bind. Can you go into some detail on what makes you and the team so good on Bind specifically?
I think all credit goes to all my teammates. We play that map very well. We understand rotations very well. So just like the communication in general is, I can kind of understand and pinpoint where people are on the map. So it's a little easier for me. And yeah, I just feel like I find my timings really well on that map, and my utility usage feels pretty good. So I don't know, it just feels like a comfort map for me.
Thank you. We'll go next to Sons of KS.
Thank you very much. And I'm so sorry for your loss. And for those who want to answer, how do you see the entire region? Will be the Valorant powered? I mean, the potential to be Latin, Brazil, and America, the power of the Valorant?
I don't understand.
I think the question was about how do you feel about the interregional competition next year with the 3 regions playing together?
Thank you very much.
I'm definitely like impressed with like LATAM specifically right now because as far as I know, I really followed Crew at the time and Leviathan, which I thought could have made top 3 at this event, like exceeded my expectations, at least when we played them like in practice. They actually have like really good fundamentals, and yeah, overall I feel like they could be good practice partners in the future. So I feel like overall next year for franchising, our regions are going to be like really, really good and probably like outperform the other ones.
Thank you. We'll go next to Diogo from VLR.
I've got a question for Ascent about, sorry, for FNS about Ascent. They kind of came back into the game in that second half. So what do you think was the biggest issue that they gave you?
There was a couple rounds we just felt like we messed up 2v2s. We had a 4v2 that was in our advantage. We messed it up. There was a B split where Aspas was able to get 2 kills at Pizza while Mel lead. It's a mistake from us. So those are the 2 I can think of off the top of my head, but I think it was individual heroics for them for sure. And then also just winning all the 2v2s, 3v3s and stuff. And it didn't feel like tactically they were really giving us any problem. Like it honestly felt like we were going to win that game. And obviously they were just winning all these really, really key situations in the mid round to late round to win the game. So I would say that's what won them that map, was winning those 2v2s.
Thank you. We'll go next to Ian from Valoranting.
This is for Victor. Is the Phoenix pick something you think that works for you specifically and Optic specifically? Or do you think that that's a agent that more teams should be looking at as a powerful pick on certain maps?
I really don't have the answer, to be honest.
Thank you. We'll go to Diogo from VLR.
Yeah, this question is for Chet. Where do you think you guys kind of fell short on Breeze being such a tight map?
Well, I had a pretty wrong read in OT, so that's one of the rounds that we messed up. But I think just like FNS said, we had some utility that we could have maybe done better, and then they also had some individual heroics, which maybe we could have capitalized better if we like traded like more properly and had better spacing. So I mean, that's all I can really think of off the top of my head right now without actually watching it back myself.
Thank you. Are there any more questions either from the on-site or remote media? Optic, thank you so much for taking the time to join with us today.
Thank you.